Hey guys, welcome back to my channel Learning Hub. So in my previous video, we have seen how ranking window functions will work and how to implement them. So in this video, I'm going to tell you the other window functions too. But before going through the depth, I just need to remind you something very important for me guys. So if you are a new user, then please do subscribe to my channel and also view other content too if you are interested. Okay, so now without further ado, let's get started. So guys, so now let's start with the first window function of this video, so which is analytical window function. So these are also called as value window function, and these are mostly used for tracking an employee performance, day by day employee performance, or on the monthly basis based upon the company. And these are also used for tracking like identifying the patterns in stock markets and trends, so like that these are used for those purposes. And now let's see the first function of this analytical window function, which is a lead. Okay, so let's implement it. So select. So now what I'll do is I'll just show you how lead is used. Okay, so lead is uh, by name itself we can say that lead will present the values that are next to the current row. Okay, and the lag is also the same, but lag is opposite to the lead. Lag will present the value that are before the current row. For example, so if you can see here the salary, right? uh, the current row for the salary is see the first row. Let us try to sort this salary. Okay, now I will just try to present you the salary with the sorted values. Okay, select department, employee name, salary. Now if I now I will try to write using the window function. Okay, so I'll just try to write the lead. I'll apply this on salary column over order by salary from employee sales. Okay, so now if I try to wait, I forgotten to alias the column. Okay, now if I try to run this SQL, see guys, so lead is nothing but it will try to present the value that is next to the current row. See, for example, if you these I applied this window function in order by salary. So the whole table is ordered sorted in an ascending order of the salary column. Okay. So now if I so this lead function is actually applied to the on salary column. So now see here, lead is nothing but the value that is next to the current row, right? So now if you think 45,000 as the first row, so the lead will present it. The first row of the lead will be like the next value of this first row, which is 46,000. So this 46,000 will be presented here. So this is how actually lead will work. So the next value will be presented. uh, in this case, then you can also get a value, you can also get a doubt, then what might be the last value, like as the first value is being skipped, like 45,000 was skipped right in the lead column, then what will be the last value? Because 86,000 will be using the value that is after this, which is 88,000, and after 88,000 there is no value, right? So in these cases, actually, in SQL, null value will be placed here. uh, in this editor, null cannot be seen, so that's why it's not actually showing. But this is how actually you will use a lead value. So this is a null value will be placed here. So the same process will be for lag also. So run SQL. Lag is nothing but getting the value that is previous to the current row. See, if the current row is the first row, so 45,000 salary is the first row, then the lag is the previous row, right? So there is no previous row before this row, right? This is itself a first row, so that's why it is showing null value in the lead. And the in the second row the salary is 46, and before this there is only one row which is 45,000, and that will be shown in the lag. Okay, see, 45,000. And the important thing is that, guys, there are actually three parameters for lead, both lead and lag. Okay, so for lead and lag, there are actually three parameters. So the first one would be the column name, the second one is offset, and the third one is a default value. I'll just say what are these. Okay, so I'll try to implement with these also. So for both lead and lag, there are three parameters, which is column, offset, default value. See, guys, column, you know about column, right? So on what you need to apply this lead and lag window functions. Okay, so that is column. So whatever the column you wanted to select, you can select. And offset is nothing but, see here, guys, as I not mentioned anything like how many values need to be skipped in the lag. It will take defaultly one, so it is giving only one value, which is in the lag. If you can see here, before 46,000 it is taking only one value, which is it is not actually skipping anything. It is using only 45,000 itself. From 45,000 itself it is starting 45,000, 47,000 it is giving 46,000. But what if I wanted for 47,000, what if I wanted the uh, it should skip one value, and then it should present this value 45,000, it should present for 47,000. Then how can I do this? So this is where offset will work. It actually tells the SQL to how many skips you wanted to do. Like, for example, if I mention comma null, so this is offset, guys. Here 2 is a parameter which is in offset place. Okay, see here, two rows are being skipped, so that's why, as I said that offset is nothing but the number of rows should be skipped and then started. See, for example, here you can see directly for 47,000, if I skip two rows, right, like I skip two rows, 45,001, here 46,000 is being skipped, and also from 46,000 to 45, one row will be skipped. So that's why it is giving 40 for 47,000. It is giving as 45,000. Okay, so two rows are being skipped here. For 46,000 also it is not showing because we have mentioned two here. Okay, and as I said, for default value, you can use, see, default value is nothing but if there are any null values present in the column, like present in the window function column, so you can mention any other value that will try to replace these null values. See, for example, here null values are present, so in the lag first two values are not there, null values are there. So if I try to mention 0 here, so you can see that, see here, right? So null values are being skipped by with a 0. So this is similar in both lead and lag functions. See, offset is nothing but the number of skips, and default value is nothing but the value that will be replacing the null values in the window. So column is, you know about column, right? So that's it. So for lead, if I try to write the lead, you can see here, right? So as I have mentioned, 2, it will try to skip one row totally. So it will be from 45,000 to 46,001, from 46,000 to 47,001. So 47,000 will be placed for the first row. So after two values, 1, 2, what is the value is there, then that value will be presented for the lead. So for the current row, if you use the lead and offset as I have given 2, so it will try to skip two values, which is 45,000 and 46,000 will be skipped, and after that 46,000, for as 47,000 is there, this will be shown because I am using lead is nothing but the value that will come next to the current row. For the first row, the current row or the lead salary 2 comma 0 will be 47,000, because 45 and 46 are gonna skip as I have given offset. And the last values, as there is no the values for last two rows, so they will be shown a default value, which is 0 as a default value. So this is how you will use both lead and lag functions, guys. Okay. And guys, if you try to apply the partition by, right, so let me apply it, partition by department. So this will be grouped under a department. See, for example, like for finance, see, last two rows are 0, last two rows are 0, last two rows are 0. So these are the windows, guys. So this is a very important concept. See, for example, so lead and lag and first val, last val, nth val. So all these works on the window, which is a frame. For example, if you so in my recent example, I have told you about the salary column, right? So for example, let's think we have got 5 rows. So you have got 5 rows, right? For example, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. So this is a window, guys. So that's why these are called window functions, because they will be working on windows like this only. Okay, so this is why it is called as a window, and these are also called as frames in SQL. A very important concept, guys. Very important, and also uh, advanced concept, frames. Okay, so now if you apply lead this column name, let's think this column name as call1, and you are going to skip to like lead, right? So I'll be skipping only 1 and replace the null values with 0. So what this will do is, so it will try to create the same uh, a window like this only. So it will try to copy the same. So it will try to copy the same. It will place. So this is the rows, right? So I am using lead column 1 and need to skip only one value. So lead is nothing but giving the next for the current row, giving the next row, right? So it will try to move this window upward. So you can, by this diagrammatic example, you can clearly understand why it is showing like that. Okay, so for 100 it will show 200 and this will be not shown. Okay, so this is actually, this is not shown. Okay, so this is not shown. So the first row it will be giving 200, 300, 400, and here there is no value, right? So that's why here you will be given as a null value. Okay, so that is the reason. Okay, so if you keep here 2 instead, so two values are gonna skip the same, but you will be because two rows are being skipped, right? So that's why you will be having this like this. So that's why it will try to get like this, and then here another null value will be placed. Okay, so here this is also get cancelled. Okay, this is lead, and for lag this window will come down for lag. Okay, so that is the major difference between lead and lag, guys. I'm thinking that you understood this very clearly. So guys, now the third function is first val. See, actually, these three vals, these three functions, window functions, like the first val, last val, and nth val. So these are actually depend upon the window or else the frame, as I said right here. So this is the frame. So uh, the basic syntax for these first val, last val, and nth val are, see, window function. For example, first val, you will mention the column and over. So as it is, you will write partition by, uh, order by, and here you actually mention the size of the window from which to which. You will mention the range or the row, number of row. See, that you will mention like uh, rows, or see, after order by you will write this range. Here you will write unbounded preceding, and here you will write either a current row, or else you can also write unbounded following, but the default one is unbounded preceding and current row. Okay, so whenever you use the window function, this window function, first val window function, see, I'll just show you the example. Okay, so here select uh, employee name, department, salary, and here let us use the first val. So this first val window function will actually get the first value of that window or else the frame. The first value will be allocated. So how many rows are there? So it will allocate the same first value to those all the rows. Okay, first value. So here you will write on what you are actually using this first value. You need to get the first value of the salary. Let us think. Salary over, you will use the partition by department. Okay, so I'm actually getting the results by grouping these department wise. Okay, so department wise there will be unique window or else the frame window. is nothing but an array, a single array. Okay, you can just remember like that. It's a column of values, but you can also remember like this, an array. Order by salary as first val from employee underscore sales. So if I try to run this, see here, so department wise I have sorted. So in the ascending order, the salary is in ascending order. So the first value will be 70,000. As the department is finance, in the department is finance, the 70,000 salary is the first value. Okay, so that's why it assigned 70,000. See how many rows are there for that particular department. For those many rows, it allocated only 70,000 because I used only the first value, like the first value uh, window function. Okay, from the second department, which is HR, the first value is 45,000. So that's why it is allocating 45,000 to each number of row. So that is the first value, guys. So and one more thing is that, as I have said, that the default range for the values is wait, I'll just write it clearly, okay, so that you can understand. So the default range of the window is unbounded preceding to current row. For example, here in the first value window function, the default uh, like the default window, or else the default range is 70,000 to whatever the rows that are above this current row. For the second row above it, there is only one row which is 70,000, so it will also get the 70,000 only, because first value of that window frame. So here defaultly you will get, for example, in this department, 70,000, 72, 75, 77, 79 are there, right? So while using these functions, you will actually having like this, the frame, and here at each row you will be having some values, right? So there 70,000 is there, and then what else, 72, 75, 77, 79, 72, 75, 77, like this is there, right? So when you are processing the fourth row, you are at fourth row, and the default range, I not mentioned the range, okay, but the default one is, it will be you from unbounded. If you don't mention this, it will automatically take it as unbounded preceding and current row. So the rows that are there above the current row, so it will also take consideration of those rows only. So if you are processing with the fourth row, it won't take the rows that are below the fourth row. It will only take the rows that are above the fourth row. Okay, so above fourth row, if you take in the above fourth row, uh, the first value will be 70,000. So that's why every row is actually marked up with 70,000. Okay, department wise. So that is the reason. Now when you are using the last value, see guys, for the last value, whatever the value that is there in the salary, it will directly uh, take the current row as a consideration. See, if I run this, right, see here, whatever it is there, it is getting that only, because we not mention the range. As we not mentioned, it will defaultly take this as a consideration, unbounded preceding and current row. Okay, so if you are processing with the fourth row using last value function, if you are at the fourth row, the last value should come as, or else let us take an example. So you are actually processing, you are actually there in the third row. Okay, in the third row, you are there in the third row. and for the third row, for this window, the last value is 77,000. So for each of the row, you need to get 77,000, right? 77, 77, 77, like this. You need to get the value, right? But it won't get like this. As I said, the range of the window or the frame will be from unbounded precedings, whatever the and current row. So here the first value will be the first value of the preceding, and the last value will be the current row. So that's why for every, when you are taking third row as a consideration, it will give the last value as 75,000 only, because this is the current row, this is the last value. Okay, so that's why it will give only 70,000, 75,000, and here also it will give 77,000. So to solve this problem, instead of current row, what you will do is you will keep unbounded following. Okay, you will keep unbounded following, then the results will get correctly. Here, instead of wait, I'll just take this. Instead of so here I not mention anything, right? So but now I'll mention rows unbounded preceding and unbounded following. Okay, preceding. See here, if you write this, let us run the query. What happened here? So after salary, we haven't mentioned anything, right? So now I'll just mention that rows between unbounded preceding and unbounded following. So if you try to run the SQL, again I spelling mistake. See here, last value in the particular, we are actually partitioning the window using department, right? So in this department wise window, the last value is 88,000. So here we are getting the last value 88,000. So that is the major reason why you will use this particularly this like this line for when you are using last value. Okay, so that is the reason. Okay, so that is about the last value, guys, last and first value. So for nth value, there are two parameters you need to give. So they are nth value column. You need to mention the column, and then you need to mention n. N is nothing but the row number. Okay, so whatever the row number you need to consider. So for example, in this uh, like yeah, in this window, 1 2 3 4, you need to mention the row number for a particular thing. So if you wanted to get the nth value of that row, okay, nth value column, and then if I use 2 here in this window, you will get 72,000 only. If I use 3, you will get 75 only. So like that. Okay, so that is nth value window function. I'll show you how you will use that. Let us mention salary over partition by department, order by salary DSC. So I'm actually grouping the rows using department. Okay, here let us mention this as sixth value. Okay, for example, if I wanted to get the sixth value, run okay, so here I forgotten to give the parameter n. So if I mention 6 and run the query, rows between unbounded preceding and unbounded following. Here also the problem is window size, guys. So you need to mention this if you don't want it to get null values. Okay. So if you count this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So sixth value, as I mentioned, sixth value is 79,000, and 79,000 is allocated throughout the allocated throughout the rows department wise. Okay, so here also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 49,000. So 49,000 is allocated. So that is this, guys. Okay, nth value can be used like this. Okay, so that's it for this video, guys. So my request is, if you like this video, if you like the content, or else if you learned something from this video, then please do like and subscribe my channel, guys. So it's my humble request. Okay, so that's all for today. Have a nice day. Happy coding.
Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next video. Happy coding.